You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And he just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Boy's just smashed his soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your business, nigga. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in there.
Let's see you do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. Go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Gail. I'll see you later. Fight someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
The crowd here on Bundu.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight.
It was on. Did you like that?
I love you.
Hi. And welcome to the Boxing Coalition. A place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Kimo, My Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype, just add Box Coalition, and get involved in the show.
What's happening? It's another edition of the Boxing Coalition. I am MV Chu. I'm not drunk. Cam, how you doing, mate?
I'm excellent, Chu. You sure you're not drunk? 100% sure?
I can't promise you anything, but so far so good.
Cool.
So far so good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. We also have Mao and Ari on the line, but I just wanted to jump into this news about Jamie Moore. Obviously, a lot of people know him from Manchester, and Jamie Moore is a bit of a Manchester legend when it comes to boxing. Reports are that he got shot in both legs. We don't know the exact details, but I just want to wish him a speedy recovery. And I know he's got a wife and 2 small kids, so I hope everything goes okay, and no issues with that. But on to the boxing. Let's go to the Argentinian first. Mao, how did you break down Rios versus Chaves on Saturday night?
Do you want to talk about the fight first itself, or do you want to talk about the controversy?
Mao, whatever you want to talk about.
Well, I will talk just about the fight, because I think that maybe we can discuss more about the controversy and the disqualification. But I was impressed. I was picking Rios in this fight, and I was impressed with all the activity and all the power that Chaves was putting on his shots, especially in the first round, because I know that he always tends to gas out in the later rounds. So I knew that he was not going to be able to keep that activity, that high output that he was putting in the first round. And he was definitely troubled by Rios. I mean, he couldn't fight on the inside as well as Rios. Rios was landing some hard shots. But there were rounds where Chaves was moving well. He was boxing very good on the outside and just hammering Rios with vicious shots. I was impressed as Rios didn't go down. I mean, he didn't seem even hurt to me. I couldn't believe that the amount of punishment that guy can take. And he didn't even blink. He was just laughing. I mean, that's incredible. I think that might have frustrated Chaves in some type of way, because it's hard for a fighter just throwing the kitchen sink at the other one and the other doesn't react. I mean, that's frustrating for me, but still, I think that it was a good fight. I don't know why so many people is bitching about the fight. I think that it was entertaining. I mean, there was rounds that were for Rios, rounds that were for Chaves, but I was impressed by Chaves. And Rios, I mean, he didn't adjust, he didn't do anything. I was expecting to see at least an improvement, but I didn't see that. And the guy is taking too many punches, too many punishment, that it's unnecessary. I think that Garcia must do something about him. I mean, improve his style in a way. I mean, he can keep taking punches that way.
Yeah, I totally agree, Mal. Like, I totally agree, Mal. Like, Noto, you need to mute yourself. Yeah, I totally agree. He's just an easy target to hit. He took a lot of punishment, but to be fair, like at no point was he hurt, and he took some big shots off Chaves. I was impressed with Chaves, like you said, like the middle rounds. He was just like sticking moving. He was outboxing him. He was pivoting well, using the lateral movement. But Chu, what did you think of his fight?
Yeah, people shouting the fight. I liked it. Brandon Rios lost a bit of power at 147, I think. His strategy was to go to the body. I thought he was having success. I mean, if Diego Chaves, in my opinion, was feeling the pressure. I thought I had Diego Chaves 1 point up at the time he got disqualified, but I thought Rios was coming on. I thought Diego Chaves was feeling the body shots, and that's why he was doing all the dirty tactics. I thought the fight in itself was a bit of a disappointment. Everyone was talking about fight of the year. Why don't people just shut the fuck up? And if it turns out to be a fight of the year, then it's brilliant. But you just cursed the fight, didn't you? You give the fight high expectations, and lo and behold, the fight disappointed.
Oh, so is that why you talked all that shit about B-Hop Stevenson, Chu?
It's got nothing to do with it, Dan.
No, sorry to bother, man. Carry on.
Nah, but we'll get to that later. But someone on the Boxing Voice said that I must have been drunk for liking punchers. Well, fucking listen, if Brandon Rios makes you fall asleep, then fuck knows what B-Hop does to you. You must slip into a coma whenever B-Hop fights. But we'll get to that. I mean, Brandon Rios should go back down to 140. I don't want to see a rematch of Diego Chaves, Brandon Rios, because it wasn't that good, and the same thing will just happen again. What does anyone else think?
Go on, Ari. What do you think, Ari?
What do you mean about the the bullshit that happened, or
just the fight
just
overall
in general?
At the moment, yeah.
I don't know. Chaves impressed me more. Like Rios, I don't know what's going on with Rios. I don't know if he needs to take a break. I don't know. Can't even say he needs to take a break. He just come off a little break, didn't he? So I don't know. Maybe he's just he's taken too many punches because he's got no defense. He's just going forward. You know what I mean? Trying to get the little hooks and uppercuts to the body. But Chaves at times was like you know what I mean? Kind of giving him a lesson a bit. Like some of the angles he was giving him, Rios didn't have a clue what to do. But then, obviously, too much holding, and the ref decided he wanted to, you know what I mean, mess around. Because, well, I don't want to get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, man. No, Chaves impressed me. Rios didn't really do anything for me.
Fair enough.
Except body punches. Some good body punches. But other than that, he needs to work on his defense, or his career's going to be done inside three fights.
Yeah. Yo, Dan, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, back to what Ari said. I mean, Rios. Do you guys really think he's going to improve in the future? You think he's got that skill set to become a better fighter?
No. Maybe if he comes down to 140, he can do something else. But at 147 and the way that he's fighting,
and also, I mean, a lot of people have said this before. Rios blows up in between fights. So you really think it's possible for him to go down back to junior welterweight? I don't think so. I think junior welterweight is where he's going to stay at. And look, honestly, man, I feel bad. Ever since that the second half of that Alvarado fight, I think Rios has looked like garbage, man. I thought he looked like shit against Chaves. I know Rios is a slow, unathletic guy, but on Saturday night he looked like he was like fighting in molasses. I mean, the guy was just. It looked like he was like, walking around the ring in rubber cement, his balance is off. And honestly, like, I know I bring it up a lot, but when you can tell a lot by just how a guy punches, and Rios just ever since I think his fights at 135, that power and that technique just aren't there anymore. So.
Cool. Nota, are you on the line? Are you there? Nota?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Just before we go into the controversy, what did you think of the fight overall, though? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it?
Well, see, a lot of people got it twisted, just because I was, all hyped about the controversy or whatever, didn't mean I didn't think it was a good fight. I actually did. And, I thought it was a pretty even fight all the way up until the disqualification, I thought they started off pretty even. Then I thought Chaves took over for a couple rounds. And then in the last few rounds, I thought Rios was starting to shift the tide back towards himself, particularly with his body work. And I think that's what was tiring Chaves, as well as the fact that when he was able to smother Chaves on the inside, he was shortening up his shots better than Diego was, as well as the fact that I think Rios is able to slip and kind of take a lot off of the punches. Even if they're hitting him, he knows how to roll his head and duck his shoulders, hunch his shoulders and tuck his chin in order to take a lot of power off of those shots, even though Diego was loading up heavy. But Diego, on the other hand, he tends to keep his hands a little bit too low and his chin a little bit too high. And that's cool if you're going to be fighting at mid-range, but the problem is he does that when he's inside, too. And so whenever he was doing that inside, Rios was able to chin check him with a nice right uppercut, following up from the body shots that he was throwing. But yeah, I had it maybe a little bit wider than most, and I had it 76-74 Rios. One of the judges had it 75-74, the other two 75-74 the other way for Diego Chaves. And I wasn't complaining about those scores. I thought they were pretty legit. But since I got through what I thought of the fight in particular, as far as the disqualification, to me, Chaves and Rios, yeah, they were both being dirty in the beginning. But as things escalated, I think Rios was starting to get to Chaves a little bit, and then Chaves started kind of ramping up the fouling that he was doing.
Yep.
He started, kind of intentionally going after his eyes. And if you look pretty much from the 6th to the final round, if you look at the slow-mos where, Rios wound up cussing at him, if you look, of course, before the ref broke him up, you could see Chaves pretty much deliberately targeting his eyes. He was either trying to lace him with, the tape, with the lace beneath the tape, or he was trying to thumb him. Either way, I mean, that's pretty intentional stuff. At first, they thought he might have had an abrasion on his retina because, the pain was so severe, supposedly. But, I mean, it is what it is at this point, though. It reminded me of when Rios fought Anthony Peterson. Peterson was starting to fall back in that fight, and he started hitting him low. But, I mean, this, to me, was a lot more egregious. So that just kind of really turned me on to Chaves. Because, I mean, I was fairly high on Chaves up until this fight. And I was giving him a lot more chance than some people just because I had seen him be capable of fighting on the inside against other opponents. So, that's pretty much my take.
Yeah, initially I thought that maybe Vic Drakulic, gave that first point deduction to Chaves a bit too early. But I watched it again today, and it's a difficult situation for him because Chaves started off from the start doing little minor things, and you have to draw a line somewhere. Because if you don't, then where do you draw the line? Do you draw it halfway past after the 6th round and then start giving loads of point deductions, or do you leave it even later? And then it's a difficult situation. At first, I really shitted on Drakulic, but the second time I watched it, I don't really think he did too badly, because they were causing a lot of their own problems. Rios and Chaves were making a lot of their own mistakes. They're having the heads so close rubbing, and almost like the way pit bulls fight sometimes. They had the heads in each other's necks and heads throughout the fight. So I don't really blame Drakulic all that much, to be honest. But
well, and he took a point from Rios too, so it's not like you could say he was just all overtly biased or anything like that. He took a point from Rios too, and because they were both hitting on the break, among other things. So
yeah, and I think it was in the 9th round. I'm not sure. When he did that DDT, and that was the same round. He got disqualified. I think he said to him, "Look, this is the last time. Next time you get disqualified." And then obviously, how many chances can you give the guy? But Mal, what did you think about the actual disqualification?
I mean, I don't agree with the referee at all because he takes a point in the 3rd round. I think that's way too early. And actually, after that, he takes a point out of Rios, but Rios didn't do anything. I didn't see any infraction there that will cause a point deduction. So I think that he was trying to even the things, knowing that he didn't do something right. I think that the fight was way out of his control. I think that maybe the thing that I was noticing was that Rio was leading with his head, and Chaves was trying to hold him. I mean, Chaves started to hold Rio, so that's when the fight started to became a more like a dirty fight. And Chaves was telling to the ref that Rios was leading with his head, and the ref never warned Rios. I mean, he was constantly warning Chaves. So I think that Chaves might have said, well, this is a dirty fight. I'm going to fight dirty. And I think that the referee was not on point. And I agree with the disqualification because, maybe trying to hurt someone's eye it's very dangerous for the fighter, for his health, for his career. I mean, that shouldn't be allowed. And I agree with the disqualification, but I think that the referee was not on point with his, the way that he managed the fight. I don't agree with that. And I think that maybe Chaves...
He definitely could have had a better night.
Yeah, Chaves, that maybe was... maybe because of his inexperience, he didn't know how to handle this, that fight. I think that he definitely did something wrong in that fight.
Yeah.
What kind of man attacks someone else's eye?
Yeah, that's true.
What a man. I know I want to see him box again, even though I had him winning. Go fuck yourself.
I would like to know the official reason that caused the disqualification, because I don't know if it was for holding or for trying to hurt Rio's side, because
it was because of the eye thing. But I mean, even outside of that, it's one of those things where when you're continuing to make multiple infractions, a ref could just disqualify you for just the abundance of them all together.
Yeah, but it made me remind when Khan fought against Peterson, the ref took a point away from Khan for like pushing Peterson away, and then he took another point, and that's something that the referee is allowed to do, but you never see in a fight. And in my opinion,
excessive clinching technically is a foul. So I mean, really, I think we should see more of that, to be honest with you.
And I agree, but I think that in the third round is maybe too early, and the referee has time to gain control again of the fight.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. But I'm just saying in general, like for the clinching part.
Yeah, like pushing away is also it's a valid point to take away, but you never see it, and that in that fight you saw it twice, so it's strange.
I mentioned the clinching thing because that was the other reason why Khan got a point too. One was for pushing, the other one was for the clinching.
But again, you mentioned Khan, and Drakulic was actually the ref in the Kalaza fight, and he let Khan do a lot of holding, so he's not really going by, you know what I mean? He's changing up his style of reffing, because in the Kalaza fight there was a lot of holding, and he waited until like the 11th round to give Khan a point. When Khan was doing more holding than Chaves, in my opinion.
Maybe he got wrapped on the knuckles and got told by the commission that he needs to change. You know what I mean? Some of his,
maybe so. But I agree. I think he definitely did it too early.
There's something about Rios' style that just brings out the worst in people. Like, people don't like it.
Rios puts the pressure on. Rios puts the pressure on, and then the thing is, some guys just can't take it. That's why I'm very critical.
Nota, your line just dropped, man.
Yeah, you got a really bad line, Nota. But yeah, go on, you.
Yeah, like Nota said, the pressure is on, and they find a ways out. Yeah. Rios isn't a dirty fighter, though.
Yeah, and Chun also, like, I don't think that logic applies to the Chaves fight, because I think Chaves was dealing and managing with it fine, don't you think?
Well, not by using the underhanded tactics. To me, it was just wanting to buy time. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he was on the verge of getting stopped or shit.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, did you ever think for a moment? Did you ever think for a moment that Chaves was, like, doing all that shit because he felt he needed a way out?
Not so much that he needed a way out necessarily. I just think he didn't know what to do. I think he's not used to having somebody in there that's able to take what he's got and give it back to him twofold. He's not used to that. Even with Thurman had to box with him in order to beat him. He was able to outgun Thurman. He's not used to being outgunned. This is the first time Diego Chaves has ever been outgunned in a fight, or theoretically outgunned. At least gun matched in a fight. And I don't think he took it well.
His true character was revealed. Rios gave him the truth serum.
I would not.
Look, I agree with that, but the thing that I just can't wrap my head around is the fact that Chaves was just the clear cut better fighter in that fight. And that just pains me to say because I love Brandon Rios.
Wasn't?
I think so.
Fight, man. It was even.
No, Naoto, you're not hearing my point. It was a close fight, but I'm saying whenever Chaves shined, that motherfucker shined. To me, Rios didn't really shine.
He shined by getting hit with uppercuts.
Look, you can go on that rhetoric all you want, man. All I'm saying is those right uppercuts and those lead right hands that Chaves was landing was more damaging than anything Rios did, in my opinion.
Rios was eating right hands.
I don't know, man.
And so was Chaves. I can show you a fucking highlight reel of right hands that Chaves ate.
I can show you more of Chaves. Come on,
like Nyota said on the Boxing Voice yesterday, shout out to the Boxing Voice, Rios was attacking the body. Chaves was attacking the head. It was just one of those fights, you know what I mean?
But true. The rounds that you gave Rios, and you compare those rounds with the rounds that you gave Chaves, which rounds were more clear cut?
Yeah, I agree with that. Chaves won house rounds bigger.
But at the end of the day,
that doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, you still give rounds individually.
I was just gonna say, at the end of the day,
and I mean, the thing is, if Rios was losing so bad, it sure didn't show on him. It sure as fuck showed on Chaves' face.
Yeah, but we all know
was looking worried in there.
We all know Naoto that Rios is that one outlier, man. You know what I mean?
The momentum was with Rios at the time.
I don't know. Maybe this is just Rios for the rest of his career. You know those guys who always say, "Oh, Rios, he's gonna fade out now." Maybe this Rios can do this shit for another 10 years. You know what I mean? But maybe he's just not gonna be that good of a fighter.
In my opinion, when it comes to Rios, as long as he's not weight drained, he could fight with you for pretty much as long as the fight's gonna last. Because I don't know. It's almost like James Toney. The thing is, James Toney had kind of shoddy stamina when he was at the lower weights, and then all of a sudden, he looks like shit. He's fat and everything, but he's able to fight, man. He's just built to fight. He's not dedicated to the training, but he'll fight his ass off.
That's a good comparison in terms of their physical ability and just their punch resistance, man. Because how many guys can you ever fucking imagine like James Toney who could go from 160 and take full blown shots from a guy like Jirov for 10 rounds? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hey, Sam Peter, man. Shit.
Sam Peter.
He boxed the shit out of Sam Peter that first fight.
Yeah, I mean, Rios is a specimen. I mean, I think he can go 12 rounds with Triple G because, he doesn't go anywhere.
Man, fucking Rios and Jorge Linares should somehow try to get a kid together. That'd be the ultimate fight. Or him and Amir Khan, man. That'd be the unstoppable fighter of the fucking for years and years.
Gotta trade sisters or something.
Yeah, guys, we've got Brandon on the line. Brandon, are you there?
I'm here, man. What's going on?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Brandon. What did you think of the controversy and what did you think of the fight overall?
Yeah, you know what? I know, it's Nauta, right? I said it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I know you were on Boxing Voice last night. I guess, you were thinking Rios was putting it on, eh? You think Rios had that?
I thought he was getting to Chaves. I thought he was mentally getting to him. I thought it was almost like when you're in a street situation where you mentally get into your opponent. That's what I thought Rios was doing to Chaves.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to say I disagree. I came home late. I missed the fight. I had a tweet from somebody saying, "What a war." And I guess that was probably only about 3 rounds in, so I was getting excited. So I put it on at like 2 a.m. once Simbros uploaded it, and it was going well. And then I thought, when is this going to start popping off? And I know a lot of people said it was a great fight, but in my opinion, I got to disagree. I didn't really see a great fight from either of those guys, man. And I feel bad for Chaves, sort of, although I know Nelta might disagree. I hate to say that I think that Chaves, he could have pulled it off, man, if it had gone the distance. To each their own opinion, but I don't think Brandon Rios has been the same since Richard Abril. That's just my opinion. He had a guy made for him in I got a fucking brain fart, Alvarado, and that was great. But since then, I mean, he's been a bit exposed, and I don't think he's really tried to adapt his style to anybody else, man. He just keeps doing the same fucking thing, and I don't think it's gonna work very much longer, man. I don't know. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Brandon, I never heard the term brain fart before. I've heard the term brain freeze, but not the term brain fart.
Brain fart, man. I'm Canadian. I don't know what we have out here.
It's like, if you lose your train of thought.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've heard brain freeze before, but not brain fart. But that's nice. But anything else about the fight, Brandon?
Brain fog is another one.
Sure. About the fight, I don't know, man. I thought it was going to be a war, and just didn't turn out that way. Where does Chaves go from here? Where does Rios go from here? What's the plan, man? Is he going to take that Alvarado number 3, or I don't know?
I think Diego Chaves and Salido should start a street gang. The same fucking dark alley where Salido's kicking about, man, because these guys are dirty fuckers, like.
One thing I definitely don't want is a rematch.
The creeps.
I only just started listening. Is it split halfway through for Chaves and then Rios, or does everybody here kind of think that Rios or Chaves was deserving of the DQ?
I personally think he deserved it because, he had multiple warnings. He was deducted 2 points already, Like, if you get deducted 2 points and you're still doing dirty shit, then you got no one to blame but yourself. That's my opinion.
Right.
But
if he was attacking his eyes, then obviously the fight had to be stopped. But I don't know. When I first watched it, my first thought was that the ref, he threw the towel on himself because he didn't know how to control them, and he just was having a bad you know what I mean? It was bad reffing, and he didn't know what to do. So my first thought was he threw the towel in on himself, just say, "Fuck this, man! I want to go home," kind of thing. That's what I thought, because I don't know, that ref, I've never really rated him. He's always dodgy in the ring, but if he was attacking his eyes, then of course he done the right thing. But could he have seen that? Like, Rios complaining, but could he have seen that? And I don't think he saw it, so I don't know.
I don't know, I guess one more thing, though, to add in is, I know there's a fight that I did appreciate watching, and that was the Frankie Gavin. Big ups to UK for that one, man. That was a good fight.
UK!
That's a fight. In comparison to the Chaves Rios, I mean, fuck, I'd watch that one 100 times over the Rios Chaves fight.
Yeah, I said to people on the weekend that was probably the fight of the weekend to me, like, for just overall skill and competitiveness. I really enjoyed that fight.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna
know. Big ups to his opponent, man. 39 years old. I don't know. It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Leonard Bundu, man. The guy started late, but he's a decent guy. But Brandon, you want to stay on the line, and we'll come back to you about the UK fight, or do you want to go back later?
No, I'll stay on the line. That's cool. Unless you guys need to get rid of me or whatever, that's cool too, man.
No, that's cool. Just mute yourself, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. Anyone else got anything remaining to say about the Rios Chaves fight before we move on?
Yeah,
when
you go, Nerta.
All right. No, I just wanted to mention in terms of next fights, because I don't think we quite mentioned that enough, and I especially like looking forward to what's next for these guys. Diego Chaves, it looks like he might wind up signing with Top Rank. Incidentally, I saw a article earlier talking about that, which I mean, it's kind of surprising because I felt like the $25K that he made for this fight was hella low, like insultingly low. So I could have seen him going over to Golden Boy and maybe fighting a crossroads fight with Jesus Soto Coraz, and I thought that would be a war. But I don't know. I mean, I guess he's going to be with Top Rank now, so I mean, he might manage to get a fight with with Alvarado or something.
Actually, he said
one of those.
He said that he has I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 fights with Top Rank after this one, and I also read that it was mentioned that he might be part of the fight in Macau between Pacquiao and Jerry, and who is the other Argentine that's in that car is Abregu. So we might see Abregu versus Chaves. But it's kind of ridiculous because you have two Argentine fighters in China, so that's crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I mean, you'd think with Sergio Martinez and Omar Narvaez's success down in Argentina, they might be able to do something. But but with Rios though, they're talking about him fighting against Timothy Bradley. I love that fight personally. I think that'd be good to watch.
Yo, can I just say that with a disqualification, neither Brandon Rios or Diego Chaves' stock drops much, and then Diego Chaves just happens to sign with Top Rank after the fight, regardless of the result. I find that a bit strange. It's I'm not saying it's a conspiracy or anything, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that...
Well, I think with Chaves, he's kind of between a rock and a hard place, because, I mean, obviously he was only taking $25K for that fight, so, it's like he needs to sign with somebody big.
It's like in the wrestling, when someone got disqualified and, nothing really happened, it was just kind of both guys stayed at the same level. I know this is boxing, but you know what I mean? It's just like a kind of save face kind of shit. Both fighters save face. There was a close fight. Even after that, you don't really know who's a better fighter. They're both kind of even. Both will go on to have a big fight next. You could almost say that he got disqualified deliberately.
Definitely needed conspiracy music there. But does anyone want to talk about Vargas versus Nukayev? Because I didn't really enjoy this fight. To be honest, I woke up I had to have a nap, and then I set my alarm, and I woke up, and when your brain's a bit kind of foggy in it, and you're not really all there yet. That's what I was like when I was watching this fight. So I didn't really enjoy the Vargas fight. I kind of woke up when Rios and Chaves started, but yeah. Actually, no, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Vargas to me got off to a good lead, and then he kind of packed it in, and I don't know, Novikov was coming on a bit better in the later rounds, but it wasn't anything, it was kind of a slow-paced, skill-type fight. And, the decision was a bit wide for Vargas, but I thought he should have won.
A bit wide?
It was wide.
That fight was a 7-5 either way kind of fight, in my opinion. Those calls were bullshit. And Vargas, I don't like seeing him, to be honest. Like, he usually makes me go to sleep, so I made sure that I stayed awake, because I wasn't missing the Rios Chaves and the Kovalev fight, but I had to do other things while watching Vargas, just to say that, because I don't know, man. I don't understand why he gets so much shine. Like, he's got a paper belt and he gets gifts, because I thought he lost the Khabib fight. And then I'm seeing him get another fight now. He's getting dodgy decisions. So I don't like it. Like, who is he? He's not Canelo or something. He's not putting bombs in seats. Why is he getting gifts?
I was getting vexed with Vargas. But anyone else want to chime in before we move on to the Crusher?
Well, I think he's ready to be fed to Provodnikov. Is what I think regarding Vargas, because they're talking about that fight possibly happening. Yeah, I think Provodnikov has no problem getting inside with Jesse, because Jesse isn't sticking and moving the way he used to. So.
Jesse Vargas is the survivor. He listens to the Rocky III soundtrack every day. He fucking finds a way to win. I like Jesse Vargas, I'm not going to lie. I think he keeps on getting fights where people think he's going to lose, and he just wins. And he's actually got a pretty decent resume. A good solid B-level resume. It's time he got like a A-level attraction just to see how he would do. I think he would make surprise some people, man.
Yeah, maybe. But we got Kev Horn on the line. Kevin.
What's up, guys? You guys pretty much nailed the Rios Chaves stuff to death. I was just on the line waiting for the Kovalev stuff, so I'm gonna just sit back and let you guys run your shit here, Kev.
No, Kev, you start with the Kovalev. What did you think of his 2-round performance?
Oh, man. I think he came out, it was weird seeing him nervous. You even seen him warming up. He looked a little tight when they had the screenshots. And then, him getting dropped in the first round. And, it looked like he was kind of jittery and nervous, and that was great to see him just snap out of it and become the crusher that we all know he is, and he just fucking demolished this guy. I thought this guy was gonna be a decent fighter too, because I heard a little bit about him, so I was a little pumped. I got gassed up because the same people who told me Algieri was gonna beat Provatnikov told me this guy was pretty good, so I was like pretty hyped up for the fight. And the first time he got touched, he was done. And then he starts waving in Kovalev just to get knocked out. Like, I was like, you fucking idiot. Like, that was the fucking stupidest thing I ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just got me really pumped for the B-Hop Kovalev fight. Like, this is saving the boxing year for me, so I'm pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, I saw Caparello on Friday Night Fights in his last fight, and I wasn't impressed. And before the fight, I did say second round knockout, so I got a prediction right for a change. But Mal, what did you think of the Crushers Kovalev's 2-round destruction, even though he got dropped in the first?
Yeah, I mean that's the only interesting part of the fight. But even though he was Kovalev, maybe out of balance. I mean, he was pushed a little bit back and he was square and he went down, but he was not hurt at all. And I don't have anything to say about the fight because it was only 2 rounds. Kovalev destroyed him, and that's it.
Okay. Chu?
Kovalev. the Crusher. You fucking know I like my punches, man. Oh, Kovalev.
I don't know, Chu, man. You sounding kind of scared yesterday.
That's because it's B-Hop. B-Hop takes souls. You know all that kind of soul shit that you get, soul snatching stuff you get on all the internet forums. B-Hop started that. B-Hop started that when he started talking about
Trinidad, didn't it?
Yeah, taking Trinidad's soul and Winky Wright's soul and Antonio Tarver's soul, and he did. He started all that trend, and I'm just worried, that B-Hop's got one more fight in him, and all the kind of excitement that I get from punchers.
Nah, I think he's too old now, man. I don't know, man. I don't like. He's 50, man. I don't know if could a 50-year-old really have the punch resistance to take a. You know what I mean? The power Kovalev has is scary power. I don't know if he can take that. But anyway, let's go back to Kovalev fight anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the fight itself, I've never seen Blake Caballero fight. I'm not going to lie, I don't watch ESPN Friday Night Fights. The only reason if I do watch it, it's for Teddy Atlas, not for the fights themselves.
Bang.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Teddy Atlas is a god. But
Friday Night Fights had a pretty good year, and they're giving us another decent fight with Stevens and Endom. So,
I can't complain at that. If it's punchers, then I'll watch it. But the thing is, like Blake, Kovalev hit Caballero to the body, and he's just got great body shots, man. And after interview after the fight, he was saying, I go for the liver. And he just touches the liver, and his power is so much that he just goes down. I can't really take anything away from that fight just because Blake Caballero is not B-Hop. So, with the southpaw stance, the way Blake Caballero was able to kind of catch him a couple of times, I thought the knockdown was a bit funny. He stepped on his foot and shit. But it just makes me think that maybe Stevenson could get to Kovalev rather than B-Hop. Just with that kind of stance and the kind of waiting and the power. I think Agnew...
Hey, Chu, did you see... I rewatched the Agnew fight before I watched this fight, and it seemed like even when Agnew hit Kovalev a couple times, he didn't hurt him, but his balance got thrown off a little bit, and he would do that little half stutter step to the right, after he got hit, to get his balance back. He got knocked back, pushed back 2 or 3 times.
Totally, man.
And I don't know if anybody else noticed that or if I'm just imagining things.
No, I noticed that as well. I think Agnew kind of exposed flaws in Kovalev's style just by being patient. And Kovalev does a lot of feints, and if you don't fall for the feint and just kind of stand your ground, you can kind of time him as he lunges in.
Well, I think one thing he really made a mistake in with the Agnew fight is he went to the body enough. He was head-hunting a little too much there.
Well, Agnew's actually, on the basis of the last fight, he's actually quite a good fighter. I'd like to see Agnew fight someone else, but I think B-Hop, if he's on his game, could end up schooling Kovalev. If he's on his game, if he's still got the, like a prime B-Hop would school Kovalev. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, but like this Kovalev in this form and B-Hop at that age, you know, who knows what could happen.
Chu, can I ask you a question, and I want everyone else to answer as well. Who do you think easier fight for B-Hop is? The Kovalev fight or the Stevenson fight?
Stevenson.
Anyone else?
I think maybe
I think the
Kovalev.
Stevenson's an easier matchup for B-Hop too.
Why?
I think when it comes to
He used to be
headhunting,
better
Stevenson
against
is all
lefties.
headhunter.
Yeah, and
Yep,
B-Hop used to be the lefty witch doctor. He used to, and that straight right hand that always lands against lefties. Stevenson had problems with from far as
If
right
there's
hand.
one weak in B-Hop, it might be.
You're breaking up, Noto.
I think dealing with Kovalev's height and just sheer size is something that'll give B-Hop problems, whereas Stevenson's got to be a good 2-3 inches shorter than Kovalev. Like I said, I was surprised when I saw Stevenson in person in Vegas, how short he was. I thought he was a lot bigger guy. And then, you remember he came up from 168 and stuff like that. So I just think the way B-Hop throws that straight right hand, he can make the fight ugly, straight right hand, followed up at the head, then clinch. Like, he could steal rounds winning that way. And I just don't think Adonis Stevenson's the most mentally strong person in the world. So I think the fact that he ran from Kovalev kind of gives you a little insight into him as well. And I think Stevenson would probably be the easier matchup for him. But at this point in his career, B-Hop wants the most money, and Kovalev is only one willing to take 25% of the split. So,
yeah, it's a great analysis. Ari, what did you think about Kovalev?
Oh, don't know, man. Yeah, it's just we didn't really see a lot of this fight. All we saw was really just power. You know what I mean? Because I thought Caparello, I knew it would be a stoppage, but I thought he would at least take him a couple more rounds, maybe try and box him a bit more. But looked like he got a bit cocky, and then just like that punch, like you wouldn't think that punch would knock you down. Like the first knockdown, it was weird. It was like he just touched him to the body and just like he folded.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because Chu mentioned it on the Boxing Voice yesterday. The way he extended it and he touched him, it's like, well, I could probably take that body shot, but like the way Caparello went down like a ton of bricks, you either thought he's just faking it or like Kovalev's got some like superpower where he can just touch you and it's hurting. But
the replay looked like he just made contact. Like people touch the bag and they just touch the bag and pull back. I was shocked. I thought it was going to be like a thudding impact, but when you saw the replay, I was like, that's it?
It reminds me of Golovkin, the way he throws punches. Like, it doesn't even really seem like he's leveraging them like that. It's like he's just got built-in leverage. But I think in this fight, though, the body shots really showed out for him. Because normally he's knocking guys out to the head. But right here, it was all body, pretty much, that finished the job.
I think maybe because Agnew was a southpaw as well, and obviously Caparello being a southpaw, it took him quite a few rounds to adjust to Agnew in that fight. So maybe he thought, fuck it, I'll just go to the body straight away in this one.
Maybe. Well, and that's the thing. That's the strategy that he needs for Hopkins. He needs to go to the body. A lot of these guys, they get lulled into playing a timing game with Hopkins and trying to hit him in the head. That is the wrong game plan. Even Joe Calzaghe, when Joe Calzaghe fought him, he was hitting him everywhere. He was just tapping his body up. He was going body, head, body, head, body, head. So, that's what you need to do.
See in the aftermath of the fight, I saw B-Hop getting interviewed next to Kovalev, and Kovalev looked bigger than B-Hop. I was surprised. Maybe it was just the camera angle.
Nah, he's definitely bigger, and that's the reason why I think Stevenson's an easier matchup, because Kovalev has a couple inches on B-Hop, whereas B-Hop will have a couple inches on Adonis.
B-Hop's light. He doesn't even weigh 175 on fight night. He doesn't even weigh the 105. He just can't cut weight, and he just, you know what I mean? Obviously he's old, so whatever his weight is his weight. And that's a problem in this fight.
He'll gain weight unofficially on fight night. He's usually in the 180s.
Oh, is he?
I mean, yeah.
He usually comes on the scales at like 172 or something like that, you know what I mean? That's a bit weird.
Well, and the thing is, it's unofficial, so I mean, it might not be quite that much, but even so, all I've seen is he's been about 183-ish when I see that.
Well, the last fight, his official weigh-in weight, the day of the weigh-in, was like 172.3. He was 3 pounds under 175, so I'm sure he didn't dehydrate up too much.
Yeah, and I think at this point now he's starting to lose his muscle. I mean, he's at that age, you know, so it's one of those things where it's not like he's really got to drain that much to make the weight.
And I've got to give B-Hop credit as well. Taking all that interview time after someone else's fight.
He proper jacked the airtime, didn't he?
He did on purpose. He knew what he was doing.
The mind games have begun, you know what I mean? Kovalev was sheepish the whole time, man.
Kovalev had that guy in his ear telling him what B-Hop was saying. Blah, 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 blah. But, you know, anyone got any update about drug testing for this?
Duva, I seen on Boxing, Duva said they haven't, like, you know what I mean, they haven't really discussed that yet.
Because to me,
they're gonna just do the standard.
Wait, who's demanding what with that anyway? Yeah, probably.
They're gonna just go with the standard.
Who's demanding what with that though? Like, is Kovalev doing any testing?
No, it's just the media asking. It's just the media asking. Kathy Duva is saying we shouldn't handle it. The commission will handle it. B-Hop isn't demanding it, so they're gonna just do normal. Yeah.
Man, it's so.
Can I chime in on that one?
It's just the media asking the questions. Neither one of the camps gives a shit. They're all cool with it just being the standard athletic commission testing. Neither one of the camps care. You know, B-Hop's cheap. He ain't trying to pay for that shit. Kovalev don't give a shit. Kathy Duva is staying out of it, and that's it.
Yeah, Brandon, sorry I didn't get to you. What was your view in the fight, and what were you going to say?
Okay, my view on the fight, Kovalev, strong puncher. It'll be interesting. I can't predict that B-Hop and Kovalev fight, man. B-Hop's like what he was saying to Max, man. Max shouldn't have said what he said because B-Hop's done it, man. He's done it with Trinidad. He's done it with, you know, Roy Jones in the rematch. You could even go that far, man. Like he always does it, man. So you never know, but I would say you're right. 50 years old, can he take that shot? I'm not sure. As far as the drug testing goes, look, man, I've been around for a while, and then athletics and et cetera. I see what I see in B-Hop, and I'm not going to take it away from him. I see human growth hormone. That's what I see, and that's my own personal opinion. I mean, that's.
But how do you see that? As somebody like myself, I've been open about being around it. Like, yo, he looks like he lost all of his shoulders, his traps, his chest. He has no muscle tone anymore. He's physically softer, and he doesn't move anymore. So I don't know.
After Brandon spoke, on you go. Sorry.
Lance Armstrong, HGH, man.
Lance Armstrong was on a lot more than HGH show. He was on EPO. He was
doing a lot of crazy shit. He was freezing blood, giving it to himself when he needed it and stuff like that.
Lance Armstrong also had a lot of muscle level. Tone. We're witnessing. If you look at B-Hop, and like I said, I've watched him his whole career. He's my favorite fighter.
You haven't seen his head grow 3 sizes, man?
His head? Not at all. His head's been the same size. His teeth are still fucked up. But the bottom line is he's losing muscle mass at a rapid rate, and he's getting flabbier and flabbier. If you're going to be taking HGH, you're not losing muscle mass at that rate. It's just not going to happen.
If it's done properly, I'm sure it's not going to, you know, if he's taking an IU of 2...
oh, my God.
I'm not a doctor, man, but, I mean, come on. The guy is 49 years old. It's not fucking possible.
But he's not knocking guys out. He's not...
Yeah.
He's
not knocking guys out. His punch
output
output goes down. Yeah. Everybody talks about he bores people to death because he doesn't work. He doesn't work fast enough in the ring. He doesn't move. He's not on his toes bouncing for 12 rounds. He's plodding and walking around. He's doing it with smoke and mirrors. He's not physically out, you know, beating anybody physically. He's mentally beating people, and he's doing it on guile and cheating and skills, and you know, it's a combination of everything. Plus, like Lim said, he's fighting weak competition. You know, it's not like he's beating, you know, like when he beat Antonio Tarver years ago, that was a big name. Like, who's he beating that's physically superior or even a really good boxer in the last couple of years? The best fighter he fought was Chad Dawson, and he got dominated in 12 rounds, and he, you know, DQ'd himself out of a fight. You know, so it's like,
I don't know. Like if he was out here, knocking out Kovalev, dropping Stevenson, and running through the division, I would kind of say that. But the fact that both camps don't give a shit about the testing, it's not an issue. It's only the media that's talking about it.
I look at it more from a standpoint of recovery and athleticism, because I know that a man at 49 years old can't always wake up and run those miles and fucking not be injured and not have that tendonitis and that strain and the back pain and all the other things, man, that come along with it. That's just, I know a good diet that he's had and followed for his whole career is fine. And I wouldn't take it away from him, man. It's just my own personal opinion. And I don't hate on it, man. So.
And HGH would definitely help with all that recovery and the hard training, especially as you get older, especially with the recuperation. So I understand what you're saying. I just disagree.
Can I just say that, if you were to look at Hopkins' past fights and see how he's done in certain fights and then see how he's done in later fights. See, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying B-Hop's on drugs. I don't know. But if you were to look at the Joe Calzaghe fight, where B-Hop gasses fucking halfway through the fight, and then he's continuously gassed throughout the fight, and he's barely threw any punches.
Well, that had a lot to do with Calzaghe, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
doesn't have a lot to do with Calzaghe's work rate and throwing twice as many punches as Hopkins ever sees.
Yeah,
but how many punches did Calzaghe land?
He landed more punches in that fight than any other fighters landed on Bernard Hopkins in his career.
Come on, I've seen that fight. I give Hopkins the win in that fight. Calzaghe barely landed a punch.
Myself, but statistically, as bullshit as the punch stats are, is that he landed more on Hopkins than any other fighter.
Well, not only that, but Calzaghe went to the body, man. That's what counts. That's what I was talking about with Kovalev. He went to the body like nobody's business.
I've watched that fight again. I mean, I'm not going to say that to you, Nyota, because you've probably seen that about 10 times.
It's been a while.
That's just a rhetorical question, man. I'm just saying that Calzaghe didn't really land anything in that fight. I'm just saying that B-Hop gassed in that fight for whatever reason, and then a couple fights later,
he was buying time on low blows, trying to get the full 5 minutes. Yeah,
and then Kelly Pavlik fight, he fucking froze all these kind of punches, man. He fucking he was throwing punches like Joe Calzaghe. You know what I mean? With that stamina, and then his last couple of fights, he's not looked that good. And if he looks good in this fight, then why? All I would say is test him. If he's got nothing to hide, listen, he's 50 years old, man. Surely that's going to arise suspicions.
But you got to understand, like, the only people that are really pushing this testing thing is not them. It's not like he's choosing to do it some fights, choosing to do others. So like if his opponent's not asking him to do anything outside of the commission, and he's not doing anything, why would he? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point?
It's money out of their pockets.
Yeah, what's the point of him to spend $90,000, $100,000 on USADA and pay $100,000 to prove that he's clean? One thing you got to know about Hopkins is he obviously doesn't give a fuck. I mean, the guy hasn't got his teeth fixed in fucking 30 years. You think he really cares what people are saying about? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's willing to spend $100,000 on a drug test just to prove something that he feels in his heart he knows and everybody should know. So,
Kev, can I just respond to that and to El Dude's boxing commentaries in the chat, who said, "Why talk shit like a bitch with no proof? All fighters are clean until proven wrong by a confirmed test." I disagree.
I don't agree with that either, Chu.
I disagree. You've got to fucking prove you're clean now.
Well, then you're either guilty until proven innocent, or you're innocent until proven guilty. You can have it only one way or the other. You can't.
Nah, fuck that. You're telling me you could look at two different fighters and have to take them the same way? The world's not in a bubble, and that's just it. Like everybody, like Brandon, he has his reasons and his knowledge of whatever he does with HGH or whatever he knows to feel that BHAP is on there. And I respect that. That's his decision to do that. We're never going to know because the testing isn't out there. They're not taking it. But, that's his decision based on his experiences. Just like when I have my experiences and I see, Juan Marquez, and I said that, a few shows back, that he's obviously juicing.
Let me put it this way.
That's just using my experience and my past knowledge steroids.
In my opinion, juice ain't gonna improve your defense. It's not gonna help you throw a right cross better. It's not gonna throw you a left hook
this
better.
is a sport of physically, the most physically demanding sport, guy. If you're gonna be more explosive, steroids
Oscar
works.
De La Hoya knocked the shit out of Fernando Vargas, and Vargas was on steroids. Oscar De La Hoya whooped the fuck out of Shane Mosley, and Mosley was on steroids. He was on the cream of the fucking clear. He was on the cream of the fucking crop.
So you're telling me right now, Noda, if you did steroids for 8 weeks, you won't be better than you were 8 weeks ago as an athlete?
Man, it's not gonna help me win no goddamn fight.
That's you. You're not a world-class boxer. If you're a world-class boxer who's been a world-class boxer your whole life, and you come up short, and you can't come up in weight, and now and you haven't had that power, and you can't come up in weight, and then all of a sudden you come up in weight no problem, and you're bigger than guys. You have muscles you never had.
Like Hopkins?
You're telling me that doesn't
like
come
Hopkins? Up? Like Hopkins?
Nah, I never seen Hopkins look like Marquez.
Look at him at middleweight. He looks like fucking Skeletor, and then look at him against.
And at middleweight, and Emmanuel Stewart was saying for 10 years that he should have went up to light heavyweight because he was keeping his weight down so much in between weights, it was killing him. But I just look at it like this: like if you, like Brandon has his reasons for guessing, like that's I have my reasons, and we're never gonna know because the testing's not out there. But
that's what I'm saying. So why
when people like Juan Manuel Marquez refuses to take the drug test, the same way Pacquiao refuses to take the drug test, if you had previous suspicions, you're going to think those suspicions are true. And that's it, because they both refused at certain times in their career.
Yo, guys,
and so now Hopkins is refusing now. So I mean, or
he's not refusing. Nobody asked him to take it.
The press is.
Who cares about the press? The press isn't the opponent. Like. The press isn't going to hold up a fight. The press isn't going to lay out the $90,000 for the testing. Like, who cares what the press asks?
And yo, to everybody who's fucking butthurt about this conversation in the chat, you know what I mean? I love you guys, but dry your tears. I'm just playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any proof. Neither does Neota.
You know what it is? When people are
fans,
they don't want to let things go. You know, it is what it is, though.
People make such a fucking big deal about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Let them go fucking fight. If somebody tests positive, they fucking test positive. Then fucking kick them out or whatever.
No, but listen, devil's advocate, right? Lance Armstrong got all these kind of suspicions around him because he had cancer. And then he won Tour de France, something like that.
And yet he passed all kinds of fucking tests. That motherfucker got tested like nobody's business randomly. And he passed all them shits.
Yeah, but look what fucking happened. See if it looks too good to be true. It usually is.
Yeah, but I mean, even if they do test these motherfuckers, you gonna catch them? Practically all these motherfuckers pass the motherfucking things.
The cycling one's different though, man, because them literally all of them were doing. I've watched the Lance Armstrong documentary, and they basically admit everyone was on it, but the testing was just behind. Like they couldn't, you know, what I mean, they couldn't test for what they were doing, like EPO and that kind of stuff.
The drugs are always going to be ahead of the test. Always. Because that's where the money is. Always.
And see, the thing is, there's so many Hopkins fans out there who are just going crazy right now. Listen to this, like, why could you hate on the guy? I'm not fucking hating on the guy. I'm just saying that boxing is the hardest sport in the world, bar none.
Yeah, it's so physically demanding to still be doing it at this age that people are going to have suspicions.
Yeah, and I mean, even if it is or it isn't or whatever, man. I mean, if he's 50, I mean, I don't, man. I mean, look at George Foreman. Shit. Just look at all these other fighters. Look at all these other fighters at not even at 50, man. At younger ages than that. And they're probably taking all kinds of supplements themselves, and you know that shit wasn't helping them. They were getting their asses kicked. The shit didn't help Daniel Zaragoza when Eric Morales was fucking his fucking ribs up.
And it's fucking incredible that no one has actually just asked the question. Like, can't you not just ask the question? Fucking, what is wrong with just asking the question? You probably, who knows if he is or not? Probably not, man, but surely part of your fucking brain is going to go, you might be on drugs. You know what I mean? Fucking, anyway, we're going around in circles.
Yo, guys, Jean-Pascal wants to say something.
Are you willing to take the test? Are you willing to take the test?
Are you willing to take the test? But, guys, have we exhausted the subject? Shall we move on?
Yeah, move on.
I don't know how many of you on the line.
The real black hole.
No.
Because there's no way out of it. people are always going to think different. Like, it's just there's no point in even talking about it.
Yeah, it is the real black hole. But did you guys catch Friday Night Fights? Who caught Friday Night Fights? I think Noto, Kevin.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a bit of a shock result with Thomas Williams Jr. losing to the aged Gabriel Campillo. It kind of reminded me of Paraban versus J. Leon Love, where Paraban was doing so well, and then as soon as he got cut, his whole game plan just fucked up. He couldn't concentrate on anything else, and it's the same thing happened to Williams. I think he got cut in either end of the third or maybe the start of the fourth. I can't remember. No, I think it was in the third. Yeah. And he was just dabbing at it. He wasn't stopped throwing punching. He was just circling the ring, and Campillo just took the confidence from that, and he was just trying to walk him down, and he kept landing the jab and the straight left, and then interestingly, Williams' corner actually requested the doctor to come up, and the doctor said the position of the cut's going to run into his eye, the blood, and they stopped the fight. And Williams went over to Teddy Atlas like he was his father, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, sorry, I let you down, Dad. I can't believe it." It was just a bit surreal, that whole kind of that whole situation. But who else wants to give?
Crazy how a cut does that, right, Cam? I mean, Floyd Mayweather is the best fighter of this generation, pretty much the most talented guy, that we've seen in the last 20 years. Got a cut, and for a round and a half, he was moving around like he got his arm cut off, like he didn't know how to react. And so if somebody who with that much talent and that much confidence could be affected by a cut, you could see it really breaking this fight down. Like, this fight was a shock. I mean, Campillo's he's a pro, and he's somebody who's always going to be competitive as long as he's in the game. But I was very shocked by this result too. Like everything just, like you said, by the fourth round, it was just a new fight. It was like you wouldn't believe it if you didn't watch the first three.
And he was doing well into that point, I thought, Thomas Williams Jr., he was establishing the jab to the head, jab to the body, right hooks to the body. Teddy's game plan pointing out, like, Campillo's open to right hooks to the body because he leaves his elbows out a bit. But, Nota, what did you think of this whole situation?
I mean, the thing about Gabriel Campillo is, from what I've seen of him, he's a spoiler, man. He's almost like a supersized version of Christian Mijares from a few years ago. Like, where, I mean, he could box his ass off. His main problem has been, like, he's a little bit chinny. But, I mean, this didn't entirely surprise me, only just by virtue of the fact that Thomas Williams has looked vulnerable in the past. I mean, he got dropped by Cornelius White. And, I mean, that Ornelas fight, he was eating some shots, too. And the thing is, if you're going to be that open, you're going to start getting hit. And so to see him melt down like that, I mean, that kind of surprised me because he had gotten through, taking big shots and getting knocked down and stuff like that. But I don't know, like there was something that I didn't quite like about his style. Like, he was a little too open. And I was thinking that if he got by Campillo, that he was going to wind up floundering at the top level, like against somebody like Stevenson or Kovalev or whoever. But I don't know. I mean, I like the guy. I like his style. I like the way he fights. But yeah, he looked flummoxed in there, man. Campillo was giving him a hell of a fight, and this might have been almost like Campillo's do or die moment too. And he did what he had to do.
Yeah, great analysis.
More appreciation for Kovalev. Campillo's still tough and against everybody but Crusher, right?
Yeah. Well, Campillo got knocked out by that other dude too. That Stevenson just fought. What's that guy's name?
Fanfara?
Yeah.
But Chu, what did you think of this fight?
This reminded me of Paraban, Leon Love. Like Paraban's soul escaped from above the cut in his eye, and so did Williams Jr. His soul just escaped him, and it's a shame because to contradict myself completely from earlier when I said I don't watch ESPN Friday Night Fights, I did see this fight, and I watched it, and Williams Jr. was doing well, but then Campillo just kind of creeped into it, and then I watched. To be honest with you, I watched the interview he done with Teddy Atlas before I watched the fight, and that interview made me want to watch the fight. The fight itself was okay, But I mean, the guy was just backpedaling as soon as he got cut. Like, he panicked, like Kev said. And, like, I just find it baffling that you would just throw not your career away, but just like, all the kind of buzz you've got, not even give your cut man a chance to kind of fix it. Like, just give yourself 5 minutes, man. It's not going to be easy, but even if you have to run. Fucking run. But I think it was just the pressure of just fighting in front of Teddy Atlas. You know, like, he was doing an interview with Teddy Atlas afterwards and he couldn't even look at him. Barely.
He felt ashamed.
Yeah.
I let you down, Pops.
Like, why would you put yourself under that kind of pressure, man? It's dumb.
Yeah. Mal, what did you think? Kind of agree with all what we've said, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Campillo, it's hard always for a upcoming fighter, you know, to fight against an experienced fighter, you know, especially Campillo, who has all the experience against especially Kovalev so far. I think that he fought against Cloud or someone else in that division, but and he was winning the fight. I think he was robbed.
Yeah, that was against Cloud. He boxed Cloud's ears off, and Cloud got the decision.
Exactly, but I don't know what happens to Williams, because Campillo was always in the fight. He was always composed. William was landing, but I saw him very tight, very, very nervous, and I didn't like that. But by the time he got caught, he was not throwing anything, and he let Campillo be the ring generalship. I mean, he was out of the fight, and he I don't know if he wanted a way out, if he paralyzed what was happening through his head, because he was doing some good stuff in the beginning, but I saw him very, very tight. I didn't like that, and he just let the fight go away. He threw it.
Ari,
and a lot of times when you have to make so many excuses or you're searching for stories, the answer is he's really just not that good. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, and Mal brought up a good point. The whole thing of, I think Williams, every time I've seen him fight, he looks really stiff. Whereas Campillo is almost always, like, he looks smooth. He looks, he just, like, composed. He doesn't look like he's even in a fight. Just, he looks relaxed. And I think that makes a big difference for a lot of these fights.
Is Campillo the guy who Kovalev knocked out?
Yeah, but Campillo also outboxed the shit out of Tavore's Cloud, and he's beating some top operators.
But I actually think Williams Jr. can come back a bit stronger from this. It's one of those fights where if he takes it as a learning experience, now he's been in a situation like that. Hopefully, in the future, when he does get cut, his soul will stay in his body this time, and he'll be able to kind of fight throughout beyond it. But Ari, what was your thoughts?
I don't know. I've never seen the guy before, but the way Atlas was talking about him beforehand was if Atlas sounded like he really liked the guy, like he wanted him to win this fight and then go on to bigger and better things like HBO or Showtime. It sounded like, you know what I mean? And then, like, he was winning the fight, obviously, and then I don't know, man. He just got the cut, and then it's like he's never been cut before, and he panicked. So, and I don't understand how he gave up in the corner as well. I didn't think the cut was that bad that he didn't just stop it straight away. He didn't even really, you know what I mean? The cutman didn't have I think Kevin said it, the cutman didn't even get a chance to really try and fix the problem. So I really don't understand. It's confusing.
Yeah, and at the time the cut didn't even look that big. It was in a bad position, yeah, but the size of the cut wasn't a massive cut. But Brandon, what were your thoughts? Brandon?
Yo. Yeah, my bad, man. My bad. I had it on mute. Yeah, no, I was surprised to see the way he got broken down, man. And at least he admitted his faults, and I got to give him some credit for that, because I don't see that happen too often. His dad obviously being in the corner, maybe was feeling some love for his son, and wanted to make sure he was going to be okay. And then he went out to Teddy after and apologized to Teddy. So, I mean, the guy's pretty humble. Maybe he can come back, like Teddy said, and give him another Friday night fights, and maybe even make a rematch. You never know. I don't know.
Yeah, and on this cut, did you want to say something more?
Yeah, going back to what you said, I mean, you said that he can come back. I don't think so, man, because I never saw someone coming back after, quitting to a fight in that way, because he was not even pushed to the limits by Campillo. He wanted to quit. I mean, it kind of reminded me to Victor Ortiz against Maidana, when Victor Ortiz didn't want to keep fighting. And,
Right, he folded. He folded under the pressure, man, with the veteran again. It's one of those things that happens when you finally step up in the opposition, and you've been fighting, those other guys for so long. Eventually you get fed to the dog, and if you can't take the bite, then hey, it happens.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think that he wasn't not pushed, until a limit situation where he thought, I can do anything more. This guy is better than me. I wanna quit. I think that he quit too early, and in the same way that Ortiz did in that fight against Maidana, and then he was never the same. Even though he got a win over Berto that was way overrated, and then a shot against Mayweather, but he was never the same fighter after that. And I think that Victor Ortiz was way more talented than Williams. So I don't think that he can, go back, build his career again. I think that, he will be always this type of fighter.
How old is he again? He's young, no?
I think he's 25.
Yeah, see, 25. You might be right. But that's pretty young, man. He might. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Cam, you don't have a trainer suggestion, guy? Usually around these fights, you go to the corner.
So you want me to say you should quit his trainer and change trainers?
I don't know. That's usually what you come out with. I was waiting for it.
No, not this time.
Honestly, when I was watching the fight, I was thinking that. I was thinking Cam might come out with if he changes trainers, gets a new camp, maybe he comes back and he uses this to learn and he gets better.
I mean, hey, maybe he should go to Freddie Roach, because then he'll get an automatic shot on HBO, and Jim Lampley will, massage his balls.
Will talk about his sparring.
But yeah, I just need to correct myself. He's 26. But also on that card, we had the return of Andre Durrell versus the Canadian Vladimir Biossi, who actually fought a few weeks ago. So I don't really, in my opinion, I think he fought too soon. But Durrell looked good. He did what he's supposed to do, I guess. Sorry?
He's a journeyman.
Yeah, I know, but you only fought like 2 weeks ago.
My bad. I was thinking of...
Let you show how bad J. Leon Love is, though, because J. Leon Love went like 10 hard rounds with Biase on the Showcase TMT card. He went, I think they stopped it in the 10th, but Biase was competitive that whole fight, even though he lost 8 or 9 rounds.
Did Biase win some rounds? In that fight?
No, he probably won a couple, and he hurt Jay Leon a couple times too. He
made a tough one.
Yeah,
because that Biase guy fought Callum Smith literally less than a month ago, and even though it was mostly Callum Smith's hardest fight, he still must have won every round.
Yeah, that was on the 12th of July in the UK, so he's done some air miles, and I think they were talking about that on Friday Night Fights, the amount of miles he's done. But I personally think if I was his trainer or I was his advisor, I wouldn't even get Biase into the ring, that soon, especially against Durrell, who's no poor opposition. He's a good operator. You could have really hurt him, to be honest.
Durrell was coming off a hell of a layoff, though, too.
True, but he's had more time to kind of regroup in that way. Biase just fought 2 weeks ago, so yeah.
Sure, that's true.
I don't
How many more chances is Biase going to get a chance to get on TV, though? That might have been something he jumped at,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Kev. But anyone else want to talk about Durrell?
Durrell looked good to me, though, man. He looked like he really didn't show that much ring rust at all. To me, he did the job, and to be honest, I think if he can get back to kind of some of his own old form, I could see him beating almost anybody at 168 or 175. And if he wanted to risk it, I think if he was to go up to 175 and fight Stevenson, he might be able to kind of cut the Hopkins-Kovalev winner off at the pass and get some big money against the winner of that fight. Especially if it's Hopkins, because I think Durrell would give Hopkins all kinds of problems, stylistically.
Do you see him staying and having a few fights at 168, or do you think he just go up?
Yeah, well, I'm just making that just general suggestion, but I'm sure he's probably going to stay at 168 because this one is at 170. So
Or was this 170? I think he said he wants to stay at 168, maybe get a belt and then go up to 175.
He said anybody from 160 to 175. I think he only came back because he needs money or he wants money. So I think he'll probably take any big fight, which I think is a good thing, and I think it's exciting and interesting to have him back in the game because he's a great athlete and he's got a lot of physical talent. So if we can put it together, it gives us another fighter in those divisions where there's already some decent matchups waiting. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, he called out Gal Froch.
He ain't gonna get that fight, but it's good. It's definitely good to see him back because obviously, everyone rates him for his talent. Like, he's got skills. Everyone sees he's got. I'm surprised how smart, how sharp he was. Like, he'd been out for like literally nearly 2 years, and he didn't even take a couple rounds to shake off the rust or anything. He was just in there straight in attack mode. Yeah, obviously, the Biossi guy didn't really do much, but he still did quite good because we've seen this Biossi guy a couple times now, and
Biassi's always been tough, and Durrell, I think Durrell is very impressive against him. Like, Biassi's a good athlete who's a decent boxer. He's very big, strong, tough, and he got smoked. He wasn't even competitive.
But excuse me.
Let me choose a bit of gas on that. But guys, it's time to move on to your favourite segment. We had a card on Friday in Wolverhampton, West Midlands in the UK. It was headlined by Frankie Gavin, at the time the British and Commonwealth champion, versus Leonard Bundu of Italy via Sierra Leone, who is the European champion. And it was a fight I really enjoyed. Very close fight. A lot of close rounds, to me, maybe 4 or 5. 5 of the rounds could have been swing rounds. I know.
Yeah, scores were all over the place, right, Cam?
Yeah, totally, Kevin. I know me and Ari had different cards, but I totally see his card. I could have had his card if I would have changed just one round. And I watched the fight again today, and there were a lot of swing rounds. But to me, it just seemed that Bundu was only really fighting for a minute of the 3 minutes, and in a lot of the rounds, Gavin was picking Bundu off, just being on the outside, sticking a jab. Bundu's got a lot of wasted energy, and he's dipping a lot, and just a lot of movement, and he's not really doing much. But when he did kind of go for it and through combinations, he did have Gavin in a lot of issues, and especially when Gavin was up against the ropes, he was catching him clean, and Gavin was just covering up, Teddy Etler style, had the earmuffs on, and really wasn't doing much. But whenever Gavin would just use the ring, use his movement, pivot off, because he was just because it was both southpaws, but Bundu was switching, and he kept changing a lot of the time throughout the fight, stances, switching from orthodox to southpaw, and I just really found it an enjoyable fight. I actually had it Gavin up by 1 point. But I wanted Bundu to win because I'm not really the biggest fan of Gavin's attitude. Everyone knows I'm a big Amir Khan fan, and he's always calling Khan out, saying he's on that level, and calling Brook out. And this fight shows he's not really on their level yet, and he needs to kind of go back to the drawing board and work a bit. But who else wants to jump in?
Crow, man, Crow for you.
Crow for me. I had Bundu to win.
No, you had Gavin. What are you talking about?
No, man, I had Bundu to win.
Me and you chose Gavin, and Roos chose Bundu.
Are you sure? I can't remember, man.
Yeah, man. I said I'm surprised.
I'm sure. Between me and you, I had a cheeky one on Bundu. So why would I pick Gavin if I had a cheeky one on Bundu?
I was surprised you said Gavin because you don't like him.
All right, I'll go for. I'll have some Crow. But
and while you're at it, you might as well give me some as well.
Well, a double Crow then, yeah.
Yeah.
But I had a cheeky one on Bundu, so I was happy that Bundu won.
I should have had a cheeky one myself.
Yeah, man, you should have had a cheeky one on that one.
You want me to go? Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I had it one point to Bundu, because you know what I mean, swing rounds, and then I don't know, man. I haven't rewatched it, funnily enough. I don't know why. I just don't really like watching Box Nation fights again. I really like the commentators, but the fight was close, man. Gavin, the thing with Gavin is he shouldn't. I'm going to go into it. He shouldn't even be at that weight, and hopefully this is a wake up call to him now to go down to 140 because he's got all the skills. Everyone knows he's got all the skills. He hasn't really got the inside game. He's very amateurish with his style because obviously he was a great amateur, but he needs to be at 140 because you know what I mean? He's a bit flabby. He's a bit flabby at the weight, and it's just he's one of these guys who have all the skills. He's a bit like Tony. He has all the skills, but he doesn't put in the work. You know what I mean? Because they're so talented, they don't think they should put in the work in. But like Bundu, obviously, was pressuring him on the inside. Gavin didn't know how to handle it, and then obviously the body shot was a, you know, body shot. You can't do nothing about that. Well, maybe he could if he was in better shape, because like I said, he doesn't really, you know what I mean. But I don't know, man. That Gavin now has to do something. He has to. Hopefully, it's a wake up call, because otherwise, you never know. He might just pack it in, because knowing how he is, like his, you know what I mean, his mentality. I just don't know.
You know that body shot, Harry? It kind of reminded me of like Kovalev's shot. It didn't look that powerful at the time, but like Gavin went down like a sack of potatoes, man. He really dropped, and he looked in agony for a few good seconds.
He was done. He was basically done. He spat out his gum shield smart. He got himself another like 30 seconds. If he didn't spit out his gum shield, I think the fight would have ended in that round, because he was definitely he was hurt. It was a bit like the Barker knockdown, but Barker actually, like, you know what I mean, recovered and actually took the round over Gil in the last like 30 seconds after the knockdown. But with the Gavin knockdown, he was done. He was on the ropes afterwards. Like, you know what I mean, the bell saved him. The ref kind of saved him as well with the gum shield situation, and then it took him like 2 rounds to recover after that as well. Like you could really tell he was really hurt. And Bundu didn't. Again, it was weird. Bundu didn't really go down to the body again for like the next 2 rounds. I was thinking if he goes down to the body again, he'll get him out of there. But he didn't really. He went for the head, trying to finish him off.
Yeah, when he dropped him in the 6th, Bundu jumped up on him in the 7th, and Gavin kind of made a comeback in the last minute of the 7th, and like the crowd were amazing. That was a small little venue, but the atmosphere in that place was sick. And when Gavin made a comeback later in the 7th round, the place was going crazy, man. You could see all the people in the background, and like that roof must have blown off. But I was disappointed that Gavin didn't give a post-fight interview. You know, I didn't like the way he kind of ran off on that. Like, you could tell he got the news a bit early that he had lost the fight, because the cameras were on him, and he went from kind of being very positive to being negative. And I seen him shout to someone in the crowd like, "No, I've lost it." I could like lip read him, and he said, "No, I've lost it. This is before the official announcement." And I just didn't like the way he acted, and I think you're right. He might go into a situation now where he won't recover from this, and he'll just go into a spiral of just drinking and just putting on weight and think, "Fuck this boxing stuff." So I think that may happen if he doesn't put his concentration hat back on. But Chu, I know you caught this fight. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought he done very well to get up from the 6th round. The body punch. I thought he was done. And it was nice little tactics to kind of spout out the gum shield and shit and just buy yourself some time. Bundu reminds me of, maybe not in terms of power, but just the kind of way he moves his feet. Ricky Hatton. Kind of bounce on his step, and I was impressed by Bundu. That's the first time I saw him, and Frankie Gavin has got no power, man. Not that weight class anyway. Like Harry said, he should move down. He's got skills, but if you've just got no power, man, you're not going to discourage a guy like Bundu, who's just going to come forward and kind of just rip it from you, man. Yeah, it was a good fight, but Frankie Gavin should go down in weight, and Bundu would be a bit of a problem as he goes up.
You look at Bundu's like body shape, and he's like very muscular. You look at Gavin, and he looks like a crackhead. Like, he's got like no muscle at all. His arms have no definition. It's diet. It just seems like he's not taking the game serious.
It's diet. That is what it is.
It's diet. It's diet. I didn't really want to. You know what I mean, I didn't want to expose the guy properly, but there's always been known for years now that he loves his fast food, and you know what I mean. So that's how, if he's not living the life you're supposed to live as a boxer, that's what happens, and that's what lack of fitness happens. And now, like I said, he's got this loss now. Hopefully, it's a wake up call that he fixes up, because people have been telling him. And apparently he always gets taxed on Twitter over it as well. Like, you know what I mean? Because obviously he's talented. Like, the guy, you don't win world amateur golds if you're not talented, obviously. I think he's the only Brit ever to actually win it. and he was favourite to win the Olympics. But then again, he didn't make weight, so it's a problem he's had since you know what I mean, before he was turned pro, because he went into the Beijing Olympics as one of the biggest favourites, and he didn't even make weight for it. So that tells you something.
But yeah, do you really think he could fix it up like you said? Because that was my first time watching him, and you know, I was watching on the stream. He was kind of going in and out a couple rounds, but he didn't look impressive at all. Like nothing about him. Like I heard that he was talented and stuff, but I didn't see anything that was like, you know, physically impressive at all. And I was just like 4 rounds into the fight, I was like, I know he can't hurt him. He has no power. And he doesn't do anything exceptionally well that's eye-catching, where he's going to be able to really, you know, take rounds and just continue to, you know, work rate and clock rounds. And I don't know. So that was my first time seeing him. I was very underwhelmed. Like,
see, the thing with Frankie Gavin is, even a guy like Timothy Bradley who can't punch much, he still fucking snaps the guy's head back. But even when Frankie Gavin lands a punch, doesn't really do anything to the other guy. It's just
it's amateur style, because I mean he's like a defensive
shoe shine, and he tries dipping it. It's not He
hasn't really adapted to pros like a lot, because
nothing,
I mean he's
flashy.
Yeah, he's a defensive like counter puncher, southpaw, isn't it? So, well, yeah, he hasn't really got inside game as well. It's just, you know what I mean, little things like that he needs to improve, but you never know if he can improve it, and if he wants to improve it. That's the question.
No, in the middle rounds though. In the middle rounds, he was picking off. He was picking off Bundu. Like, he was counter punching him a lot, and he was catching him with like little short little uppercuts and stepping off and spinning off to the right hand side, and he was doing well. It's just whenever he got up against the ropes and Bundu let his hands go, Frank Warren made reference to it that was all the eye catching shots, and that's what maybe the judges saw. As to a rematch, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch, but I think Bundu, you know, for what he's achieved, he does kind of maybe deserve a title shot, because he's 39. He started the professional game late, and he's defended the European belt a number of times, so why not give him a title shot?
Which one, though?
I say IBF. I think he'd probably beat Salomon.
I don't think he's high up is he high up in the IBF rankings?
I don't think he's high in the IBF, no, but I think that's
the IBF belt?
I think Sam Salomon's got the IBF.
No.
We're talking about welterweight.
Sorry, I'm getting mistake. That's Porter, isn't it? No.
Actually, no, he's actually rated number 3
with IBF.
So he might be able to get himself mandatory after the Brook fight.
Yeah, but I think that'd be a tough fight for him.
That'll only really be the only belt that would really give him mandatory, because you know what I mean. WBC ain't gonna tell Floyd to fight him, and Pacquiao won't be forced to fight.
I didn't see any guy in that ring that's beaten any top 147 guys.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying he's gonna beat
or
them,
even be competitive. I didn't.
It's just what he said afterwards, Kev, because you know what I mean. He's like 39. He wants to get a title shot before he gives up.
And I think he could be on a smaller card over here. I don't know how receptive he would be coming over. Like if I had 2 guys I could watch either one of them fight somebody decent as an opponent, I would choose him. You know, I was really underwhelmed by Gavin completely.
I think it's like Sean Porter and Bundu would be a good fight, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he'd probably get a rematch with Warren, a rematch with Gavin. I think, because I think Warren's gonna put that purse bid in, because I can't really see anyone giving Bundu a shot, even though he's high in the IBF. I would like to see that fight though against Porter.
Only IBF. I think he'll be the next mandatory IBF, because Gavin was number 5 and Bundu was number 3. I'm actually surprised they didn't try and sort out trying to be it for that to be an IBF mandatory, because I mean they're both high up in the rankings. It's both. If you're both in the top 5, you should be trying to get a final eliminator out of that. That's Warren just.
And
not
IBF really likes to push those.
Exactly. IBF, the only one who really pushes it hard.
Great point, Ari. Great point. But what the funniest part of the whole fight was me at the end when Leonard Bundu didn't even know that the Commonwealth belt was on the line. He was like, "Right, I won a belt. I didn't even know I was going to win this belt." He thought he was just defending his European belt, but he won Gavin's Commonwealth belt, because obviously his heritage is from Sierra Leone, and that's part of the Commonwealth. So he took a belt home that he didn't know he was going to get. So that was nice of him. But to the heavyweights in this fight, I'm going to skip on this quick, because the fight was shoddy, man. Like Big Daddy Lucas Brown, man, versus Rudenko. Andrei Rudenko. This fight was horrible. It went all the way to 12 rounds, and it was just a big, fat, sloppy mess, to be honest. That's all I'm saying. Anyone else want to say something? Chime in now.
Shit fight. Brown, he's just a kind of heavyweight that the problem that heavyweights. Yeah, I mean the heavyweight division. The problem. He's basically a definition of the problem right now. No skills, just power. And look at the shape he was in is just terrible. So I don't know, man. And guys, I don't know why he's even talked about. He talked about over here, and he gets loads of interviews and stuff as if he's like got skills. He doesn't. He's just power.
It's because he's with Hatton. It's because he's with Hatton. That's why.
Yeah.
But I was excited.
That's it. The Hatton connection. That's it.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Brandon?
Sorry, I was pumped to see Brown, Big Daddy, and just because from his prior fights there, but it didn't pan out, and now I've kind of maybe this is what the rest of his career is going to look like. I'm not too sure.
Is Hatton training him or just promoting him?
Just promoting him.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, let's move on to the oncoming week's fights, guys. We got a card on Thursday in Corpus Christi. I think it's a Fox Sports 1 card with Jerry Belmontes versus Abner Cotto. I'm not really looking forward to it. I don't know if you guys want to jump in. Notice probably got something to say about this.
Well, I mean, they both have a common opponent in Omar Figueroa. So this is a fairly even matchup. I mean, it could be good and it could be bad, just depending on how their styles match up. Jerry Belmontes is more of like a slick type, back foot fighter. Abner Cotto tends to come forward a bit more. So he'll probably be the one making the fight. But it'll be interesting. I mean, the thing about Belmontes is, to me, he's a pretty talented fighter, but he's lacking in stamina. Whereas Cotto is a little bit more the opposite. He's not the most talented guy, but at least he can keep up a good pace. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes.
Actually, no, this is actually a decent fight. Wasn't Belmontes gave Figueroa a good fight?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. A lot of people thought Belmontes won.
I think he won that fight.
Yeah.
I scored that fight for Belmontes.
I think I scored it slightly for Figueroa, only because midway through Belmontes almost kind of gave up. You guys carry on talking. Let me see if I can find my scorecard.
Yeah, I had that one. I had that one to draw because Belmontes, he was outboxing the shit out of Figueroa early, and then it seemed like he just got tired, and Figueroa was just upping the volume, and he beat him pretty much on volume. He managed to use that to bail himself out.
And if he did beat him, it was just like you said, it was just on volume because he was throwing and he wasn't landing anything of note. Like I'm sure he was gathering punch stats. He was a stat collector, but. Yeah. But I thought Belmontes definitely should have stepped it up. He has himself to blame for not getting that decision.
Belmontes was clowning him. I mean, shit.
He was definitely winning early, and he should have won that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find it. I think it's on my phone, and my phone's on charge. So we'll move on to Saturday, the fight that we all should boycott and watch the next day on Simbros. Shout out to Simbros, man, the guy we always go to when we need to watch a fight that we missed. It's
who's fighting, Cam?
Your boy, Danny Garcia, man. Latin Greens.
Who's Garcia?
The Goonie.
The one, Herrera Soul Taker. The one who's got his soul take. Is that who Garcia is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that the one with that crazy dad?
Yeah. Note to do your Angel Garcia.
Talking about he's never met a Pakistanian.
Pakistanians. No, to do your Angel Garcia impression. Go on.
A good boy.
Everyone's in the chat's loving that. But let's talk about the fights, man. I don't really want to talk about this card, man. Seriously, this card is so disappointing. Let me just say
off the bat, everyone, please don't watch it live. If you're gonna watch it, please stream it. If you're not gonna watch it like me, if you're not gonna stay awake like me and get some nice sleep or go out, you go to Simbros and you stream it, or you can download it with FileCloud, and that's how you watch the fight. And that goes for the Peterson fight as well. We don't want to give these guys that business because they're fighting bombs. They're champions and they want to fight bombs, and I don't condone it.
This fight's the reason why I dropped my Showtime subscription last month. As soon as this was announced, this is before the Matiste and Broner on different fights in the same card as well. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm like, and the problem is, like, I have no faith that Garcia Peterson comes next. You know what I mean? And if there was, like, I would kind of be like, you know what? I wouldn't give the card a pass because Salka is just not a passable opponent at any point in any champion's career. But what's next? Nobody knows. It definitely ain't going to be each other. So who knows?
I mean, we got Garcia, Peterson, Broner, Berto, and Matisse all fighting guys that we've never heard of.
The Manuel Taylor fight's quite good in my opinion. I think.
I'm just saying, like all these guys should be fighting each other, and then their opponents should be fighting each other for the right to fight them.
Exactly. That was the best way to put it. The opponents should all be fighting each other to see who elevates themselves and does get a chance at one of the more known guys.
Something must be happening with Heyman. That's all I'm going.
That's what happens when you give. That's what happens when you give mediocre fighters minimums.
Yeah. When they got like 7-figure minimums, you know what I mean? They ain't gonna cry.
Exactly. That's a great point, Chu. But Chu, like, what are your predictions for like Garcia and his opponent? Do you think he's gonna like knock him out early, Rod Salka, the lightning rod?
I think Rod Salka will come in his plumbing gear and go back to his part-time job straight after the fight.
like Eminem 8 Mile.
Yeah. Exactly. Like Eminem 8. He'll fucking clock in and clock out, and then he'll fucking be back at work in time for 12.
His lunch break is going to be at the fight.
He'll be coming down with his packed lunchbox. I mean, who is Rod Salka? He gave a great interview to Nez of Gibbs, but plucky guy. I can't hate on the guy for getting his shot, man. If he wins, it'll be the biggest story since Chuck Webner knocked down Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? It'll just
and like you said, Salka's not to blame because any fighter is supposed to take a fight if they can get it, especially at this money. But the thing is, this guy has zero power. So if Garcia doesn't get a knockout, or at least walk through him with no regard for this guy's power because he doesn't have any power, I mean, there's going to be some serious questions about Danny because, if you really break down his fights, he has a couple of real big ones, with Khan and them. But, Morales is a guy that was way past it, and there's going to be a lot of questions. And I don't know, you don't move up to 147 without knocking out a guy that's basically the 70th best ranked welterweight in the world, light welterweight in the world.
But yeah, the funny thing about this though is I could see Garcia having a little trouble with this guy early, only because of the fact that Garcia has always had more trouble when he's trying to come forward on the guy as opposed to when the guy's coming after him.
And this guy will be moving.
Yeah.
Have you guys, anybody seen him fight? I know as soon as this fight was announced, it actually came on Showtime On Demand, and I watched him fight, and he was basically the opponent on the Showtime After Dark fight that he happened to win. And I was
Showtime After Dark.
Yeah,
whatever it was, Showtime, some shit.
I just messed with you because HBO they just kind of bit off Showtime because it was like Showtime.
Oh yeah, with the 300 fights or something.
Yeah, 200th episode, and then HBO Boxing After Dark's 300th episode. So I just thought that was funny.
I saw an amateur fight in Rod Salka. By amateur, I mean someone's iPhone in a pub. But I don't hate on Rod Salka because this is his big chance to shine.
Mm-hmm. He's getting himself a nice payday. I mean, he's fighting who's supposed to be the best in the division. Obviously, he's gonna take. No one's gonna turn it down. But it's just the situation of that. In no way in hell. Should he be getting a phone call?
Yeah, this fight should get like a 400,000 rating. Like this should be an embarrassment. Like this is people have a chance to really make the voices known and just not watch it.
Stream it in live or Simbros it, man.
Do you guys know anything about Peterson's opponent? Because I don't know anything about him, but I think from what I heard is he's actually better than Salka. I don't know.
I think Peterson's got a better opponent, but it's not like he's anything special himself.
Just for the listeners, Peterson's opponent is Edgar Santana, and I'm just bringing up his record now with my slow internet.
That's a 12-round fight because
he lost to Manuel Perez 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's got.
And then he's knocked out 3 guys in his last 3 fights, but them 3 guys, when you look at the record,
he went on the bum circuit and knocked out.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah. His last fight, he knocked out Michael Clark in 1 round. people. Might
Oh
remember
man, Michael Clark is still around. They're still licensing him. Holy shit!
I figured you might know him.
Yeah. Sam Solomon knocked him out in the Contender or some shit. Bundridge knocked him out in the Contender like 8 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But and actually he has a win over Josecito Lopez.
Who does?
This Edgar Santana.
How much guys has Lopez lost to?
Lopez has a lot. He got like how many losses? He got a bunch.
Well,
right?
Lopez is like one of those Salido types, where it's like you can't really
In
judge
2008.
him off of his record from
2008. Yeah.
Yeah, by a majority decision.
Yeah. I was right. Yeah. But let me go into Peterson quickly anyway, because when people lose at their divisions, even if it's not for the belt, like in my opinion, you should drop that belt because he lost to Matisse. But the only reason he still got that belt is because Matisse wanted to stay mandatory to force the Garcia fight. Matisse,
and that's
Peterson,
why it was a 1 pound catch weight, right?
Yeah, no, but Peterson, IBF should have stripped him afterwards because you can't have your champion get knocked out like that inside 3 rounds and you call him your IBF champ. So Peterson, again, he's walking on fine line with me. And he's just, I don't see Peterson as a champ because I don't see him calling out Matisse either, trying to get a rematch to try, get his money back.
He's the definition of a paper champ. He's big time.
Definitely.
To be fair,
I'm a fan of Peterson because I like his fighting style. I like how even though he's long and he's built lean like that he gets inside and if you want to scrap with him inside, he'll go shoulder to shoulder and throw at you. And I like the Deary Jean fight. Like a lot of people hated on. Like I had a good time watching that fight. I had no problem watching that fight. It's just that, like you said, he's not a champion. Like it's tough. Like you said, you got sparked out in 3 rounds, and you're walking around with a belt in that same division. That's come on.
To be fair, Ari, though, I did read an interview with the Boxing Voice where Peterson said he did want the Matisse rematch, but
I don't hear him saying anything. I don't hear him coming out.
I think you just said that for the sake of it. Like,
exactly.
I don't think
he's just saying it to
wants
say it.
Yeah,
he's saying it. He's saying it like,
because it's the right thing to say.
I don't want to go into that fight, but I seen a interview with Jacobs and he was chatting shit as well, talking about he would take on anyone in the division and Golovkin. You're saying he's unstoppable and all this. All right, then if you're unstoppable, why don't you go try and take on the real WBA champ instead of getting this fake belt that you're about to pick up off an Australian who got knocked out in 2 rounds versus Saunders? Why? I don't want to hear this talk about I'm unstoppable. While are we supposed to forget that you got knocked out by Pirog? You're not unstoppable. You want to pick up a paper champ. You want to become a paper champ, and then you want Showtime to start saying your name because you got a little bit of buzz behind you right now. And I don't like it because I couldn't believe when I was hearing him chat. He was talking shit in the interview, man. I was shocked.
I was getting vexed with boxing these days, Ari. You need to chill.
I don't like these guys who talk, man. When they've had souls taken, and instead of trying to get the soul back, they want to try and find another replacement soul.
Yeah.
Why don't you go back to the original?
And I heard that interview too, Cam, in the Boxing Boys, but actually, Majorano, who is Matisse promoter here, he said that he wanted to fight for a world title because he lost against Garcia. He won against, Molina, but he said, well, if Garcia is moving out of the division, we want to fight for a world title. We prove that we are, at the top of the division, and they didn't get it. He stuck with Roberto Ortiz, but in a 10-rounder fight. I mean, I'm talking about Matisse. And so they wanted to take a fight. If Peterson is the champion, he should have fought Matisse. But I think, in my opinion, it was Peterson who didn't, or his manager who didn't wanted to match him against Matisse. So I don't know. Maybe it's the thing that Ness said in the Boxing Voice, where they're trying to, make a lot of fights and trying to get them out of the contract with Golden Boy. I don't know if that's the case.
That's a good point, Mal. Anyone else want to talk about this card? I'm actually thinking Jacobs will take care of Jared Fletcher quite easily.
Of course he will.
I'm thinking second or third round or something like that.
Of course he will.
Yeah,
it's a joke fight. For a joke belt.
So that's
pretty much. The WBA is the worst offender of all the sanctioning bodies with these belts. They have the regular title, the interim title, the super title, the super duper title, the Fruit Loops title. We got all kinds of titles, man.
Yeah, what has happened to Showtime? Where has all the money went to? Why is undercards shit all the time? Man, the Showtime
Something's
cards.
going on, man.
Yeah, something is going on. The top rank cards are fucking better than theirs now.
I'll
Well, the
just
thing
say,
is, these networks, they get into a lot of trouble sometimes when they'll sign exclusive deals, and I'd be willing to bet you that's exactly what Showtime did. So they owe them the dates, and so whoever's going to fill those dates gets the dates, and they really don't have as much say in it.
Something's going on. Well, something better be going on. They better not try and make this the norm. Because if it is, then I might have to leave this shit. Because you know what I mean. We got some crazy cars coming up, man, and I can't believe it. So this better change in the future, or you never know. I might have to dedicate myself to UFC or something. I can't have another year of this shit.
Yeah, Oscar
Oh,
De La
for
Hoya.
fuck's sake, Harry.
Yeah, I said it, man.
Get a grip of yourself, man.
No, I said it, man. I said it.
Get a fucking grip.
I liked Heyman last year, you know what I mean? He gave us a couple of fights we wanted, you know what I mean? I thought he was going to do something, and I don't know. I don't know if it's that he's wearing down contracts or...
I'd be willing to bet that's exactly what it is.
I don't know what it is. But I don't know, because I seen a Angel Garcia interview. He said that they haven't had a contract with Golden Boy for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And they're just on a... You know what I mean? They're just staying loyal to Golden Boy. Yeah. Did you see that interview with Ness?
Yeah.
So they don't need to wear down the contract. They just...
Yeah, but it's not just Danny though. There's other fighters there too, and the thing is, if the thing is, they're either going to be all or nothing about it, because you know that De La Hoya and them are going to be trying to sign these guys.
Yeah, and Espinosa has to take heat for this as well, because he's supposed to be running this, and it's looking like he's not running anything over there. He's scared to do anything he wants. It's as if Heyman's got signed over him. He's got like a blackmail sign. He knows. He knows about his side chick or something. I don't know.
His side piece.
Yeah, but guys, did any of you know that this Garcia fight is a 10-rounder with Rod Salka?
Most probably is, you know.
Yeah.
They might try and keep it 12. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not for belt.
Yeah, once they did the catch weight, they moved it to a 10-rounder. There's no belt, so it's fraudulent.
What's the point of him even headlining? He's in the biggest joke fight of the card, and he's headlining somehow.
Doesn't make sense. But I want to shout out Bin Omar. He's not phoned in for a long time. But his boy Saddam Ali is on this card as well. He's facing a guy called Jeremy Bryan, 10-rounder. Brandon, do you want to touch anything about this Brooklyn card on the 9th?
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to stream it. But it's unfortunate, you know. I want to see Garcia in there with the big boys, and hopefully that's what happens for I don't know, when do you think he'll get another fight in before December?
I could see him fighting once in December, kind of like last year.
Possibly December or maybe early January. Yeah, it's difficult.
But do you think that he will move up directly to 147 after this fight, or he will fight another catch weight at 144, 145?
147? I don't know about.
I think he's gonna try and make 144 as long as he can, because as soon as he moves up to 147, he's playing with the big boys then.
What's the point, though, of taking a catch weight to try to develop you to go up to 147 if you're fighting a guy who's basically a lightweight?
I don't think that this was the point. I don't think that was the point, really, to be honest with you.
No, they were trying to, go on,
because it was originally going to be a 140-pound title fight. Then the sanctioning body said, no, this guy's not even ranked. We're not going to sanction it. So they're saying, oh, okay, fuck it. We'll just put it at 142 then, because, Danny can't make weight properly. He's on Weight Watchers or whatever the hell. So they're just accommodating him. Basically, they're accommodating his laziness as opposed to prepping him for a move up.
What did that guy tell you 6 months ago? Team HBO. I fucking told you guys, didn't I? Look what's happened.
Yeah, you did.
I fucking told you guys. You all doubted me, didn't you? You
didn't see this. I was with you, Chew.
You didn't see this coming, Chew. Come on, you didn't see this coming.
Chew, most of the fights on HBO back then were not that great. Most of the good fights this year have been on Showtime.
I wasn't gonna ride with HBO when they were giving us that little welterweight round robin they were doing.
Nah, but the tide's turned, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's turned. No, not really. The Pacquiao.
Well, it always turns, man. These are competing companies, and the thing is, like that Team HBO, Team Showtime shit. I'll pay for both, so I'm team. Put on some good fucking fights.
Yeah, I'm Team Stream anyway, so I don't care.
Team Stream. Hashtag Team Stream,
bros.
That's fucking great, like. Nah, but all the exciting fighters are on HBO. Kovalev, all the exciting fighters that I want to see, apart from Keith Furman on Showtime.
Yeah, we have Porter too.
Yeah, Lucas Matisse. What am I talking
Talking about Furman, what's going on with Furman, man? God, man, like, what? So
exactly.
Apparently, he's not even going to be on the undercard. Apparently,
he's a boogeyman.
He's not going to be on the main undercard now. So,
listen,
he's another Al Heyman victim. Al Heyman getting these guys to fight fucking only twice a year. We're missing out on great talent.
Yeah, he needs to somehow get over to HBO because Lampley was talking about him a lot yesterday or the day before. You know what I mean?
Keith Thurman hasn't fought a competitive round in this calendar year. It's fucking ridiculous.
Ridiculous, man.
That's a good point, Ari.
He's on the shelf.
Talking about Furman. They were talking about Furman. That's a good point.
And I don't. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think with the recent, development of Hopkins, Kovalev being on HBO, I think they might see an opening. They might be able to get some of these Golden Boys guys in there. And I'm not sure what Thurman's particular contract situation is, but I don't know.
Can't get too carried away though, because at the end of the day, Kovalev's not a top rank fighter. So. He's main event.
Well, exactly. That's the thing.
So once Golden Boy fights Top Rank and that's on HBO, then I'll start getting a little like, all right, maybe something might happen.
Yeah, but
I mean,
guys, you can't. Sorry, Neota, you've got to say that HBO have got their priorities right. Andre Ward doesn't fight. Showtime have got their priorities wrong. Keith Furman doesn't fight. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward can't get a fight on HBO. But Keith Furman can't get a fight on Showtime. That just shows you that HBO is the most exciting network for boxing fans.
Oh my god.
You chat shit. But no, man, I don't know, man. You got one of the most exciting guys in boxing right now, and he can't even get a fight, man.
Exactly. True, whatever happened, I just hope he dies.
Times change.
Well, Bob Arum isn't with HBO technically.
You know what, B-Hop? Who would have predicted B-Hop would have fucking stabbed fucking Al Heyman in the back? That's like fucking trying to shine a light in the Candyman's face. I mean, it's just unheard of.
Well, I mean, kind of like Kevin said earlier, B-Hop just don't give a fuck, man. B-Hop's going to do whatever he feels like doing. So, I mean, he's got a stake in Golden Boy, so if anybody's going to try and fuck with Golden Boy, they're fucking with his money.
But B-Hop's smart. He knows that Al Heyman's not popular with the boxing public, so that's like a sinking Titanic. So he just kind of sees the lay of the land and he just jumps off the Titanic. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I think he's smarter than people give him credit for. You know what I mean? I think he's got two choices: stick with Al Heyman and fucking these shitty undercards, these shitty cards in general, or go where the money is. HBO have been saving their money for a rainy day, and now is the time to fucking strike with iron's hot, fucking kill them while they're weak, get them.
Chu would make a great leader in a world war. Let's go get them! Ah! But Chu, you want to mention Shane Mosley Jr.?
I do. Just briefly, Shane Mosley Jr. Power, speed, susceptible to a lot of punches, but it's only his first professional fights. He likes the business.
No, second.
Second, sorry. Yeah. He's 2-0. The guy who was fighting, obviously, he's a bum, but give him chance. He looks as if he's picked up his dad's pop. His dad's pop. That's a fucking oxymoron, isn't it? His dad's power punch.
That was a good one.
So he looks good, but obviously he's not going to reach the level of his dad. But he might turn into something, you know.
Well, I mean, you never know. The thing is, when you're at this early in a guy's career, you never know how they're going to turn out. They could turn out to be great. They could turn out to not be. So, yeah. As for now, we could be just happy watching them be exciting on the Top Rank undercards because Top Rank TV.
That's quite ambiguous, Neota. He could be great or he could not be.
Just sit on the fence, Neota.
That's true.
Just sit.
That
on
was
the
some
fence.
double R analysis right there.
It could be anything, man.
But
I had a dream.
Ari sent me a link the other day with the antics of Shannon the Cannon Briggs going into a restaurant where Vlad was having some meal.
Oh yeah.
No to do that impression, please. No to do that impression, man.
Wherever you go, I go, champ. Wherever you go, I go, champ. Whatever you eat, I eat, champ. Oh. Thanks, champ.
How you, champ? What we eating, champ?
That was hilarious, man. I enjoyed that shit,
champ,
man. That was funny.
Give me the shot, champ.
It was. That is the video of the year. That shit is excellent.
Vlad's
Didn't
calm.
my boy already get hospitalized by one of the Klitschko's? Like, what's he got going on?
Yeah, Vitaly. Yeah, Vitaly
killed
fucked
him.
him up.
Yeah, but
killed him.
Didn't he hurt his arm though? Weren't his arm incapacitated?
I don't care. He got beat up, man. That was a beat down. That fight. That was one of them fights where that towel should have been thrown in like 3 rounds before. But I don't know. I think the Briggs thing. I'm starting to think it's fake now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's fake. I think they're just warming up, and you know what I mean. Vlad's just trying to get a big fight because.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things like how does Briggs know everywhere that Vlad
and the camera's magically always on as soon as he's like starts.
And how does a 5'8" fat sloppy dude slam Briggs to the ground and single-handedly walk him out without an issue?
Exactly. That's a great point.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the first one too, where he busted in on him in the gym, like Michael Moore and Jonathan Banks, they didn't seem to give a shit at first. They were just watching him.
Yeah, it just feels all set up and all fake to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is entertaining
funny,
to watch, though.
Regardless,
it definitely is entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But
it looked like he cut Vladimir's hand too when he like threw all the plates and stuff.
No, but apparently he cut his foot because he was in sandals. Apparently he had to go to hospital. So.
So do you guys actually?
And that's why
Kev.
he said he's like, I got glass in my foot to match Vlad's glass straw.
Do you actually see this fight actually happening?
I can see it, man. I mean, who else is Vlad really fighting? He's gonna fight Pulev.
Who gives a
and
shit?
What's gonna come after that?
That's a good point.
Yeah, he's most probably going to do some bullshit at the Pulev fight and then try and most probably hop in the ring afterwards. And then if that happens, then of course they'll give us you know what I mean? They'll have to fight. I don't want to see it though.
Maybe he'll glass Vlad.
Briggs is done. What's Briggs done? He got killed by Vitaly. Then he's come back 4 years later and he's beat 4 bums. That's it.
That's
really.
how he does it, man. That's how he got the shot at Sultan Ibragimov, or not Sultan Ibragimov, that other dude, Lahovich.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis knocked him out as well, man. I mean, this guy's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah,
He's 42.
He was Foreman's last fight, man. That's how old this dude is. He was George
that's
Foreman's
crazy.
last fight.
He was the main event on my boy Shawnee's first ever pro fight, and I met Shannon Briggs. I was like, this motherfucker's huge. And then when I saw him fight Klitschko looked huge next to him. So I'm like, I had a new respect for how big these Klitschko brothers are.
The thing that will sell now is everyone knows that these Klitschko brothers are too big for most heavyweights. So they want to see him against these super heavyweights, you know what I mean? Just to kind of
It's not just that they're too big, they're too skilled too. I mean, this guy Pulev, he's not on Vlad's level. Just like that other fucking guy that was bigger than Vlad wasn't on his level.
Yeah, but you think about it, the only guy who in recent years has been on the same category of skill level as David Tay, but David Tay was too small. So people want to see. Yeah, you're right. They want to see someone with the same skills or same kind of skill level, and the same size. But you've got no one close. I don't know anyone who could beat the Klitschko's.
Well, I mean, Vitaly, I think is done for good because he's off in the Ukraine doing his thing. But Vladimir's he's the lone.
Yeah, I mean the only guy who could possibly beat the Klitschko's at this point is Vladimir Putin. The Russian, the Russian Prime Minister, man.
Just put him under arrest for some reason.
Because they're the opposition, aren't they? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really follow the politics, but I think they're on the other side.
Actually, Vitaly, no, Vitaly was part of. I don't know. He was part of a third party.
Yeah. His party's smaller. His party isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they weren't pro EU or pro Russia. They were on some other shit.
Okay.
These guys, I hate talking about the Klitschko's because what a wasted opportunities, man.
Shout out to Kid Galabum for mentioning my boy from China, Taishan Dong.
Who?
He's bigger than the Klitschko. Taishan Dong.
Yeah, but were you talking about that 7 foot guy who looks like Yao Ming?
Yeah.
That guy, I don't see him. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that fight. He didn't impress me. He looked...
I'm just messing around, just because you guys are talking about size or whatever. That's a big fucker right there. 7 foot.
Yeah, he's got all the size, but he hasn't really got skill though.
Yeah.
Who? Is he Sean? Is this another Chinese obscure guy that he's love?
No.
He fought on Fox Sports 1 last week, or 2 weeks ago rather. He was the main event.
His jab was like a power punch.
Yeah, you saw it, Cam.
Yeah. He's very stiff and very awkward. I can't see him going far, but he'll knock some dudes out, though.
Yeah.
On the way. But, guys, any final topics? Because I want to get out of here. We've had 2 shows back-to-back where we went over 3 hours, so I want to make a short one tonight.
Cam trying to watch Man United versus Liverpool.
Shh. Harry, man, stop blowing me up. No final topics?
Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man.
Just, No, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, there's a couple other, cards, but nobody really big names. There's Vyacheslav Glaskov and Derek Rossi on NBC, and then some Uni Moss guys, but yeah, just pretty much prospects and contenders and stuff. Nobody on the cusp.
Yeah, just make sure you stream the main card.
Strawweight Black Hole. Francisco Rodriguez defending his strawweight title. Unification with Katsunari Takayama in
What the hell's a strawweight, man?
105 pounds.
Jesus Christ. What, a 10-year-old?
It's a unification. How many unifications you see nowadays? WBO, IBF, man.
I don't know, man.
Rodriguez Takayama.
I'd rather see a pub fight.
Fight of the year. Not for real, though. Those 2 guys can scrap, though. I'm going to send you guys the video of it once I get it.
You know we're not going to watch it.
If it's a quick knockout, you will.
They don't have power.
Yeah, well,
alright, guys.
Definitely does.
Yeah, I'll stop.
Go ahead, though.
No, you got it.
Fucking strawweight.
I was pretty much done.
Whoever made the name, I've said this before, but whoever made up the names of these fucking weight classes is just taking the piss out of these guys, man.
No, they just couldn't think of anything lighter.
Straw.
Now, what are you gonna?
Strawweight.
You're gonna go
Well, the
airweight
thing
after
is,
that.
each of the weight classes has different titles. There's super bantamweight and junior featherweight.
That annoys me.
Same weight class.
Yeah, that annoys me. Because it's like you're trying to explain to a friend that's not into boxing that much. You'll say it's the super lightweight belt, but it's also the junior welterweight. But it's like, well, which one is it? Then make up your minds. It's like.
Yeah. It's a shame that it's not uniform.
Yeah, it'd be a lot better if it was uniformed.
Fucking featherweight. Think about it. Featherweight, strawweight. You're as light as a feather. And that's just taking your masculinity away from you, you know what I mean?
Flyweight.
Flyweight, exactly. Fucking paperweight. Oh, right. It's just
paperweight's actually in the amateurs, I think. Or no.
Oh my god.
No, that's pinweight. My bad. That's pinweight. That's on that. That's I think only at under 17 though. Under age 17.
I know to Beast Mode asks in the chat, is strawweight minimum weight? Because I know there's one called minimum weight as well.
Yeah, strawweight minimum is the same.
Strawweight, minimum weight, and mini flyweight. Those are the 3 names that go together.
Okay.
Yeah, mini flyweight is IBOF and WBO. Strawweight is WBC, and minimum weight is WBA.
Alright. Okay, roll call time, yeah? Okay, Casual Fan, Monaco 78, Jazz, Cam UK, Mau Alpha, Flomo Bot, Die Hard Casual, Arigo Boss, Beast Mod, Neota, MV2, Killer Shan, El Dude Boxing Commentary, Ringleader, JY, Roy Sabila, Kid Gallibum, Panama Said, Joe Said It's True, Miguel Brigante. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, everyone in the chat, thank you. MV2, Roos, who's been on the line listening, Nota, Kevin Horn, Brandon, Harry Gold, Mau Alpha, thank you all. We'll be back next week. Peace out.
Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
I did. Man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
Kimo got this Boxing Coalition shit going on.
Who the fuck is Ringside Raw? I'm ringside Robert, guys.
If you're a casual fan, go fuck yourself, man.
Daniel, don't take the backseat of the car while you're driving though. That could be dangerous.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
You can't come at the Lebanese prince.
Hey, I'm the Arab prince, motherfucker, so I can talk whatever I want, yeah?
I'm never surprised with anything Bob Arum says. I just hope he dies soon.
Do you want to be entertained or you want to see the best fight?
Both.
Yeah,
oh shit, you just want it all, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's what casual fans want.
Fuck you, man.
You used all your bandwidth this month on the Boxing Coalition. That's what that was.
Hey, come on, man. Don't be jealous, man.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. Fuck that shit. I'm jealous.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thanks for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. UK time.